all diets work, right? At least they're going to help you lose weight. What you need for losing weight is to be at a calorie deficit. The key to sustaining that is how well can you adhere to that diet in the long term, right? And by its very nature, if you are losing weight, that means that you are in a state of starvation, right? Your body doesn't lose weight unless it's not getting enough calories coming in, right? And so, by that very nature, although losing weight might be part of your overall strategy for getting healthy, it is not the definition of health in and of itself. And so if we are going to lose the weight and then sustain it, we need to first and foremost establish a baseline of healthy eating that allows you to perform mentally and physically at your best without excessive hunger, cravings, or energy spikes up and down. Because the diet that allows you to perform athletically at your best is probably going to be the one that is also healthiest in that context, right? Now, not everybody is an athlete, not everybody is doing CrossFit, running marathons, competing in bodybuilding competitions. The general guidelines for physical fitness as it stands today are that you should be doing a minimum of 2 full body strength training workouts per week. So about 2 hours of strength training per week, and then about 2 to 3 hours of low intensity cardiovascular exercise. So for some people that might be walking, other people that might be going for a jog, riding on a bike, um, you know, getting on a rower or something, working at an intensity that you can carry on a conversation while you're doing it. So we're not talking about doing sprint training, trying to set a new PR in a 5K or 10K or something like that. We're talking about just general physical activity and physical movement throughout the day. And you can achieve that in anywhere between 20 to 30 minutes of, walking, maybe even doing yard work or something like that. And that will satisfy that requirement. Um, and so going back to what are the requirements of people, um, for your diet, right? So you need to have a diet that allows you to naturally control your calories based upon calorie output, right? If you're putting in the wrong stuff in your body, you can throw your hormones off, and that can have you eating more food than your body actually needs, having cravings for a variety of different things that your body doesn't need. And so if we can get your body working in alignment with its hormones, insulin, leptin, ghrelin, all these different things, right? If we can get your body working in conjunction with that, it's going to be, you won't have to be reliant as much on counting calories. Although I do believe that, the first month you're doing something, it is a good idea to, track what are your calories, what are your macros, because then you become more aware of what you're actually doing. And then the other thing that we're going to be doing in this challenge is after we peg you in either a carbohydrate, mixed type, or a protein type category, that will set your baseline macronutrients, right? The ratio of carbohydrates to protein to fat, right? That your body is most likely to operate best on. And then how we really fine tune that is using the guide to intuitive eating, right? And so if you took a look at that, you probably saw that you have the um, signs and symptoms of if you eat too many carbohydrates, if you eat too much fat. And this is going to be relative to your body, right? If you're a protein type person, you're going to be probably more on the end of that, paleo, ketogenic, carnivore sort of dietary practice where you actually feel really good eating a lot of protein, fat, maybe not as much carbohydrates, right? Because this would be what you call a fast oxidizer, right? You're somebody who is going to get hungry if you don't eat breakfast. You're going to have trouble. You're going to have blood sugar issues if you don't have a hearty meal, like maybe having eggs and stuff like that for breakfast with plenty of protein and fat to satiate you, because your metabolism burns pretty quickly, right? And so you're going to see on this guide to intuitive eating what might happen. So for example, if you are, let's say, a carbohydrate type and you eat too much fat and protein, right? You might end up feeling like you're full, right? You're full, but you're not satisfied. Or you feel heavy in the gut, right? You feel like, just kind of weighed down. Or you might feel mentally sluggish. On the other end, if you eat too many carbohydrates for you in your particular situation, you might feel tired but wired at the end of the day, right? And I actually had this experience when I was trying to fix my health issues. I tried doing a vegetarian diet for a while, which is a lot of carbohydrates, not much, yeah, you're getting protein from beans and rice and nuts and seeds and stuff, but it's not as concentrated. You're also getting a lot of carbohydrates and a lot of fat with that protein at the same time. And so what happened with me, I had plenty of energy throughout the day. The only problem was I could work a long day working manual labor, get to the end of the day, and still be wide awake, wired, but my body was exhausted, my mind was exhausted. I want to fall asleep, but I couldn't. And so that would be one symptom of perhaps you're eating too many carbohydrates for your body type, right? And so looking at these things, once you're in that, it's all about dialing it in, analyzing the symptoms and being like, okay, if I'm feeling this tired but wired feeling, maybe I need to cut back a little bit on the caffeine. I need to cut back on the sugars, the starches and stuff, maybe even the fruit. Have a little bit more protein, maybe a little bit more fat with that protein as well to kind of help stabilize me. It's about finding that balance where you operate the best. Hey guys, so if you like that short little clip there, you ought to know that it was a part of my recent 5-day challenge that I had on my Facebook page, Aaron Kubitz, and then also on my business page, Functional Aesthetics EC. So that was a clip from day 1 of my 5-day challenge, Nutrition for Health, Fat Loss, and Performance. And if you would like to potentially be a part of this free challenge in the future, gain some of the good information on how to establish baseline healthy eating habits that will allow you to be able to perform at your best, think at your best, feel at your best, and then sustain either your fat loss or your muscle building gains long term. Because as I said in this clip, one of the main, or maybe not in this clip, but at some point in the challenge, one of the main reasons that people are not able to sustain their weight loss is because they get the cart before the horse. They start trying to lose the weight first without having the foundation, the nuts and bolts of a healthy baseline diet in place from which they can manipulate macronutrients to achieve specific goals and then return to baseline and maintain the progress that they made. So if you're interested in that, I usually run this challenge about once every quarter. And so if you follow me on my Facebook page or send me a friend request on my personal page, and if I'm not maxed out on friends there, when you do that, I will go ahead and add you to my friend list. You can also follow me on my Facebook business page, like I said before, Functional Aesthetics EC. I upload all sorts of good fitness related content there. In fact, that's where I do the majority of my marketing. I do a little bit of this stuff on YouTube, trying to get better at the YouTube stuff too. But if you want to follow me there, go ahead and do that. And we'll see you all next week for more health and fitness information.